10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Tune in. This is your Friday Night Lights podcast.
Photo and entertainment in Middle Georgia sales and services.
Coke, don't worry about Pepsi. I had to go see a man about a mule.
Look at here, look at here.
A-Town down.
And you better not lose.
Tune in.
Not so fast, my friend.
You better say it with your chest.
Come on now, shout it.
And you better not lose. Hey, you better watch your mouth now.
I am a label.
Better shut your mouth.
Yes, I am. I don't mean to interrupt.
Better say it with your chest.
Let's get it.
And you better not lose.
What's happening, everybody? How are you?
What it do?
Hey. What's going on?
What is going on this wonderful Wednesday? How was your day?
It was a day.
Great.
Great.
How
You know
was your
what?
day, ma'am?
I finna make my day even better by pouring me up a glass right now.
I mean, isn't that your normal day?
Like,
though, sis?
that's every day.
You know,
Oh,
but that's
my bad.
okay. Welcome. I need you to change this picture because it's a lie, yo. Peach County is not 0-2. You need to change that.
I
What's
thought
going
about that
on?
yesterday.
What's going on, Mr. Farley? Welcome. One of the biggest games in the state is now loading. All right. Mr. Hurst, welcome. We're always glad to see you pop up. Titus McCleary is on board. We are so happy to see you as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening, Marquise. How you doing, nephew? What's going on, Barry? How you doing, nephew? Big game for you all as well. Interested to see how all of this is going to play out. What's going on, Corey Daniels? Perry. Big Perry is in the place. Welcome.
Big P-E-R-R-Y. Woo!
Woo!
Y'all don't start tonight now.
I didn't say nothing. Welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Friday Night Lights podcast. We have here with us Mr. Thirsty B.S. Rollins, Esquire.
What's good?
In the top right, we have the feisty bulldog, aka Shakira Brown.
Yo, baby.
And speaking of yo, in the bottom left, we have Yo Soy. I am. Tell the people what's up.
What it do, people?
And last but certainly not least, it is the Valley Girl, Jessica Abrams. Welcome to the podcast. We have a tight patch show tonight, so we're ready to go ahead and get with it. Got something that I think a lot of you all would love to see. So y'all make sure y'all tune in around 7:45, 7:50. So y'all can see what we're talking about. Barry said he got all the Savannah schools mad with him. Well, they'll be all right. You can't cry blood. It'll go all right when the swelling goes down. Jeremy Senior, welcome to the podcast. Lee County 42, Hoco 14. That's your prediction? It is possible. Mr. Myers said he's doing good and getting ready for homecoming. Just not getting back healthy. Well, that's great to hear. Keep getting better. How about that? Keep getting better so that you can fully enjoy homecoming in Thompson. So now, the Wizard is coming up. He's done his predictions. Some of you will like them, some of you will not. We have a special interview on tap after that, and then we're going to go through these brackets. And I'll say it now, and I'll go ahead and say it. We'll go ahead and say it again when we start. The brackets are for entertainment purposes only. It is static, which means it's at one point in time. Okay? Just know that before you go in and you wonder why this person not number one and this ain't right and they lead here in the let's not get into all that. We're going based on what GHSA says as of today, and it's for entertainment purposes only. Okay, okay. All right. Obadiah says he saw the press box show today, and number 4 from Cairo is doing good. That is wonderful news. I mean,
That's what's up.
it's really
Yeah.
scary when you see an ambulance come on the field. That's never good.
And from a fan standpoint, man, that game Friday between Westover and Cairo
George,
should be a good one.
oh
With those
yeah.
two backs, with the kid from Monroe being second in 3A, and the kid from from Westover being second in rushing, and the kid from Westover being number 1. I would love to see that matchup with them going against each other on Friday.
Yeah, that's going to be a great one. One of the many great ones. I'd like to see. I'm glad Mr. Ford, Mr. Ford. I'm glad Brian is doing much better. I'm glad that he's able to play. I'm wondering if he should play. Though I don't want him to. You know what I'm saying? He carries a heavy load. I mean, he runs like the Dickens, and he's on offense and defense. And I know he's young and strong, but I just don't. I don't want.
I mean, you're talking maybe 15, 16-year-old. The kid is just a sophomore, and that's ridiculous. The amount of talent and speed he have at that age. I'll tell you, he reminds me a lot like Duke Watson.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
If anybody listened to this podcast the last 2 years, y'all would know that I was real high on Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obadiah says, from what was said, it's up to the parents and the doctors. Okay. What's going on, Mr. McDaniel, Mr. Gore? Welcome to the podcast. The Wizard, are you gonna be ready on time, Mr. Wizard? He said, are there any Toombs County fans on here tonight? I'm sure they're on their way. And I'm sure they're not pleased with you.
I bet they ain't. 'Cause boy, he did them dirty.
Well, I mean, listen, it's still upset alert, right? Isn't it within like 3 points?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see here shortly when the Wizards decide to get out the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he ain't in the baby. He on that broomstick.
Dodge County. Any Dodge County fans in here? Come on, tell us hello. Bear says he likes Toombs to win on Friday.
Well, that's something we could talk about. Well, let me see what time it is. Yeah, that's something we could talk about after the fact. But all I'm gonna say is this: take a steady look at what both teams have done and played so far, and I think you'll see the better defense.
Well, let's be honest. Toombs
Mm-hmm.
County has, if not one of, if not the best interior defensive end in the state of Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a sophomore who's just as good. So I can understand why you would look at Savannah defense to be that tough, but I wouldn't be surprised if what the name don't pull it off. If Toombs don't pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mr. Shields, welcome to the podcast. He said, did they jot down your names if you got eggs from the store on Halloween? Huh?
What?
I know they used to do that in my neighborhood when I was in high school. If you went in and bought eggs around Halloween, they jot your name down because they knew you was finna egg somebody's house.
Yes, you throw eggs on Halloween. I guess these little young bucks, Jessica and Shakira, ain't never experienced that, bro.
No,
Yes,
it
we
ain't
have,
that.
but
We ain't never experienced it. We're just trying to figure out where the F that came from. But all right.
we've experienced it. And then it wouldn't make no sense because I mean, I don't know. I ain't never egged nobody's house, but I mean, we were in the country. We couldn't readily get to the thing. If they were gonna egg somebody, they just take the egg that's already in the refrigerator and you get in trouble for it later.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That's where we used to come out there and the bougie side of town, and we used to catch y'all lurking, walking around out there trying to trick or
Excuse
treat.
you.
I'm just
Bougie.
telling the truth. Yeah,
Bougie.
yeah.
Well, who was on the bougie side of town?
Uh, the Valley Girl. What you talking about?
That's no okay, people listening to the podcast. There is no place in Fort Valley that is bougie. Okay, please understand that.
Hey, I know if any of my Fort Valley State alumni or know what I mean when I say the bougie side of town.
Well, yeah. Shout out to Willow Lake. That's all I got to say. And we were not.
Exactly.
We were not bougie. We were not bougie. But anyway, let me read these comments. Sis want to know if the wizard trolling tonight. He gonna answer that when he get on here. Dwayne, what's going on, Dwayne? Thanks for being on time. He said he got tunes tonight. Barry says Savannah has a tackle that's committed to Georgia, and he's a top-notch dog. Is that the Gilbert guy?
No, not he talking about an offensive tackle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to him. Come in and do the work, man. Jeremy Jones Sr. says, do kids of that caliber need to go play high caliber teams with way more resources and better coaching and be better prepared for college, or stay with the schools with less? Cairo kid. You know what that sounds like to me, Mr. Jeremy Jones? That sounds like
Crew 2.
yeah, y'all looking for y'all looking to replace Krumer. That's what it sounds like. I'm not saying that's what it is, but I'm just telling you what it sounds like.
If the truth be told, that's kind of the rumor mill anyway. So
Yeah.
you know, here's the thing. Back in the day, it was all about playing where you were, and they will find you. But because of I'll call it the LeBron James effect of high school football now, where these people are putting their kids in places to play with top-notch talent. It'll probably serve him better if he did go somewhere where he can get notoriety better than he can down in Cairo, Georgia.
Mr. Jones says definitely not. That's right, baby. That's what you're supposed to say. Definitely not. Yeah, he also says it's more so a business now. And like I said, it sounds like justification, but baby, that ain't what you're doing. I believe you. Mr. Watkins, 4-8 state champion in the building. Welcome to the podcast, sir. What's going on, Tick? How you doing? We missed you Monday. I know you could have had some good zingers for us on Monday. What's going on, J-Bo Carver Columbus? Since I got picked on, I'm sorry.
You did call the man Atlanta, so
I did. So again, I'm gonna apologize again. But tonight I said Carver Columbus, and welcome. Let's see. Morris said he was just asking since it's that time of year. Newton is snatching candy tomorrow at South Gwinnett. Okay, Newton. I see you. Jeremy Jones.
They better.
Says, for further references, I'm not a recruiter.
Me neither. Me neither, but you should have saw me and Duke Watson on inbox, sir. You would have thought I was a groupie the way I was trying to recruit that boy over to Peach County.
I know that's right.
Nick, good dope seller self.
That's what they say.
Boy, they must
Mr. Nick
We
Diamond.
ain't heard that all year.
I was about to say hello.
I'm just sorry, babe. We hadn't seen Mr. Diamond all season.
Cedartown in the building. Welcome, Mr. Diamond. Glad to see you. Tick says he was working on his honey-do list Monday. Happy spouse, happy house. Good job, Tick. I'm gonna give you.
I
thought you were worried about how many excuses you're gonna have to make after Sunday, but I could be wrong.
Hey, can I say something to Nick Diamond? Sure.
Sure.
Coffee gonna lose this week.
My
I mean,
Lord.
not coffee, but I'm sorry. Cedar Town gonna lose this week.
Mm.
I know he was like, why the hell would I care about
No,
Cedar?
no. Cedar Town gonna lose this week. And guess what they
Okay.
gonna lose to?
Who?
The bye week.
You're
The
so
bye week is undefeated.
you're so silly.
Nobody
Uh,
has ever.
that's what he said. We don't even play this week. You have to excuse him, Mr. Diamond.
Nobody has ever
Y'all
beat
losing.
the bye week.
Got
Man,
us last week and it sucked.
the bye week is the only team that's undefeated.
Mr. McCleary says, I see in a few years with the amount of talent that's in Georgia, there will be a school just for talented players to go against other teams in the country. So what you're saying is there'll be an IMG in Georgia.
Exactly. And Mr. McCleary, I don't know if it would have happened in the next couple of years, but I've always wondered with the nationally ranked teams across the country that does put teams together like that, in spite of them saying that they're just public schools. I mean, that school Marty Day out in California get kids from all over the state of California. Like, let's be real. So I've always wondered, will Georgia ever put something like that together? And I believe it'll come, but I don't know about the next couple of years.
Hold on. I thought we already had a school like that. I thought we
Oh
already
yeah,
had a
we
super
do.
school.
You talking about
Yeah.
Raven Gap?
No.
No,
We
no,
talking about
no.
up there on the
And
Chattahoochee, where the
Gwinnett.
Chattahoochee start. Yeah. Up
Yeah,
there on
up there
side
in
of Lake
Gwinnett.
Lanier.
Yeah, that school called Buford University.
Yeah,
Oh, uh-huh.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's smart. Uh, yes, it is, Mr. Diamond. We've been talking about that all season. 4A is a tough bracket. Mr. Hurst says you were right with your first statement, Thirsty.
Appreciate you.
Collins, so he was right there with you.
Hey, when he said Coffee was gonna lose, that kid at Hurst throwed a shot then. What
He
TCC
sure
on it
did.
today?
He said, you're right. Mr. McDaniel said the home base of that school y'all talking about gonna be in Buford. What's going on, Paris?
Wait, sis, you skipped over Tick when Thirsty said,
Yeah. I'm sorry, homeboy. He said Thirsty talking about that step down again. Well, look who we have here, Mr. Wizard. How are you this evening?
What it do, Miss? What it
hey,
do, Mr.
Wizard.
Wizard?
You doing-
Man, I'm chilling, have my hair blowing in the wind,
Okay, great.
riding on the broomstick with my baby.
How
Just
much
getting
mileage
so
How much gas mileage that broom get, man? 'Cause y'all sure do a lot of traveling.
Gas. Man, that thing runs off of magic.
Well,
Potion.
y'all got a full night tomorrow, so y'all better rest up after you do the show.
Yeah. We do. We got a nice little weekend coming up. But how y'all been doing? Everybody been having a good week so far?
We're doing pretty good.
We
I'm finna
good.
say hello to Mr. Kelly. The Carrollton Trojan is in the building. Welcome. What's going on, King Cornelius? And what's going on, Mr. Wilkins? And Mr. McCleary and Obadiah will address your questions in just a minute. We're gonna let the wizard handle his business, and we'll keep it moving.
So, with that being said, private classification. Make sure I get that clear. Okay. So, all I'm saying is, everybody should be straight, but Hebron Christian Prince Avenue is the game to watch in that classification. So, be on the watch out for that.
Mr. Wizard, I have to disagree. I do think the Savannah Toombs County game is the game in that classification.
Toombs County is going to have a tomb erected by Savannah Christian in that game. But you're right, though. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. That is a game to watch, too, in the private classification. Because that does have, if I'm not mistaken, region implications on it.
It does.
So, yeah, that one too. So we'll add that one to the list. If I'm not mistaken, I think I put that on my pick'ems, which y'all need to get done by Thursday, 6 p.m. So keep that in mind. Pick'ems must be completed and submitted by Thursday, 6 p.m.
Gotcha.
Okay. I don't think we got any comments on private because I don't think them Savannah private school fans are watching the show tonight.
No, Marquise did say he likes Toombs over Savannah Christian.
Well, go do your pick'ems and let's see where you're at.
Mr. Meyer, you talking about don't hate me, Mr. Wizard? Who cares if he hates you, baby? He ain't nobody. Don't be like that.
Oh, don't worry, dog. I ain't got no love for you because I can't ride. I'm not trying to ride your broomstick. I'm riding the witch's broomstick.
Okay. See what I'm saying? Don't worry about any hate that you would get from the wizard. He don't care about nothing but the witch. He ain't worried about hating you. And who cares if he does?
Cause trust and believe, what you drink don't make me pee.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Single A, D2. Everybody gonna be paying attention to Brooks County and Irwin County, right? And I get that. But don't forget about bowing the tree on. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Watch that game.
Let's see. Welcome to the podcast, Jamar Stokes.
Oh, I forgot one thing. Do y'all expect to see when Greene County lose this weekend? Do they stay in the top 10 in the what y'all newspaper called?
When Toombs County loses?
No,
he said
County.
Greene.
Greene County.
County.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Mr. Wizard, you sure about that Lincoln County Greene County game?
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
If you don't believe me, choose your team on the pick'ems.
Okay. Let's see. Jamar Stokes would like to know what Toombs County has to do to win against Savannah Christian.
Win. Y'all know I don't get into analytics. Just win, baby. Just win. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave that analytic stuff and stuff to
Okay, so what we're gonna do, Mr. Toombs, when we get the wizard off, we'll go ahead and answer your question. Okay, how about that?
Good.
And Oscar said, "Don't be trying to ride nobody broomstick, sir. You are a man, Damon."
I am riding the wicked witch broomstick wherever she decides to take me. That's where I'm riding to.
Okay. So let's go. D1 week 12. This is crazy. Week 12 already. Wow.
So in D1, we ain't gonna even talk about the Toombs County game. But so I'm gonna ask y'all the same question again. Do you expect Dodge County to stay in your local paper top 10 after they lose to Dublin?
And again, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Okay. And Raven County, they losing to the Elbert County.
Mr.
If you don't like it, tell your mammy, not me.
All right. And Mr. Odom says, Wizard, are you picking East Lawrence to beat Northeast Friday? You screwed the pooch picking Dodge by 7 last week.
I'm picking Northeast to beat East Lawrence, 42-13. If you don't like it, go tell your mammy.
Oh, Lord. What's going on, Mr. Lakes? How you doing down there in Burke County?
Take a sip of my potion.
Tony McKelvin, welcome to the podcast. How you doing tonight, friend? All right, we're at 2A. Let's go.
2A. Yeah, Appleton County gonna get crushed by Pierce. We're not even gonna put that game on the watch. But Morgan County, Callaway. I am putting Morgan County on upset alert this week. Yeah, I said it.
Which is good, but I'm gonna tell you why. Because I remember, was it last week? They were telling us that they've got a significant amount of injuries on that team, so that's quite possible. Now, Yo said that Callaway's just gonna win up front. It ain't no
Don't
upset.
matter. It don't matter at all. Callaway wins the game.
Oh,
Did I just see something?
you
Uh,
did.
And it disappeared. Where it disappeared to?
It ain't
Oh,
disappeared.
there you go. There you
It
go.
ain't
He said they're gonna
disappeared.
get- Okay, you can bring them holy hands, but I got some magical hands, if you know what I mean.
Let me explain
Okay.
something to you, baby. Don't
Hmm.
nothing beat the blood of Jesus. Please understand that.
Mm.
Nothing. But
Uh-huh.
it proves my theory that the wizard will make a preacher cuss. What's going on? What's going on, Mr. Crookham? We just went over that. Mr. The wizard said that I think he picked Greene County to lose to Lincoln County. So you be
I
pleased
did.
with
I
that.
did.
And I just want to know one thing, Mr. Crookham. In what?
Flip. Okay. 3A.
And
Yeah.
hold on. We'll stop real quick. Congratulations to your baby. Main Lake's daughter just finished her soccer game and scored 4 goals. Congratulations, baby girl.
Good job.
Congratulations. That's
That's a
awesome.
big thing. You know,
It is for soccer. That's absolutely great.
good job, baby. Okay, go ahead, Wizard.
Okay. What's that school called that make the syrup that everybody like?
Cairo.
Yeah, they lose Thursday to Westover.
Okay, speaking of Cairo, I'm gonna put a plug in. I know the Ridenberry cane syrup. I know y'all don't sell it no more. It went down, whatever. But I know it's somebody in Cairo, Georgia, that knows how to make that cane syrup. So y'all hit me up and let me know if you know how to make it. Thanks. I need some.
Okay.
Shut up.
4A. Don't be mad at me, but I'm gonna say this one. Stars Mill, you're on upset alert Thursday night against Jonesboro. A lot of people, and I understand that a lot of people that listen to this show don't know Jonesboro like that. But yeah, Stars Mill is on upset alert.
In what?
Football. Okay.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Yes.
Does that move your needle, people?
When you mentioned the Stars Mill Jonesboro game, I mean, my needle is fighting, but then I think about the fact that it's gonna be some people coming up from Peachtree City, Georgia, up to Jonesboro, Georgia. They're gonna hear some good music coming from that band. And I get a little intrigued, so that needle jumped just a little bit. So my needle jumping for the band halftime show, and that's only.
Okay. And shout out to you, Wizard. You got Perry being one of Robin's. We don't have to hit our mouth. Good job.
Big pig.
Okay. Kenny says at Old South Day they made homemade cane syrup. I need to find out when that is so I can go down there. And Tick says you're being mad disrespectful tonight.
I'm always disrespectful. This ain't nothing new.
Yeah, he's a natural butthole, people. He can't help.
Can't help it. It's just that's just in my hey, school of hard knocks. School of hard knocks. That's why I graduated.
That's what it is. Let's go. 5A week 12.
Alright. Yeah, TCC gonna get some decaf coffee from Coffee County this weekend. Roswell loses to Milton after they good display and upset of Gainesville last week. Outside of that, everybody else in 5A handles business.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has problems with that one.
And listen, including coffee.
Yeah,
I don't think they don't mind being the third seed.
Well, from what I hear, y'all gonna look at that later.
Thank you, Mr. Hurst. I appreciate you.
6A. Yeah, Carrollton over Douglas County. I just think Carrollton is the more complete team. Yeah, other than that, everybody, Valdosta and Loudons.
Lowndes.
Yeah, Loudons.
Yeah, that. Man,
Loudons pulls up the upset over Valdosta this weekend.
And what?
is the
Football.
quarterback back? That's my question.
Football.
Is the quarterback and the running back move? My mama would have a fit. Are the quarterback and running back back?
Back. Yeah, it should be back.
Way back there.
You
Mm.
know,
Or back on the playing field.
it's not Friday, so I'm just not gonna even go there. I'm just gonna say, okay, you answer my question. I appreciate you. Tick says coffee in an upset. Aunt Evans, welcome to the podcast. He said everybody is playing and Valdosta losing to Laos. He seriously doubts.
I agree, Mr. Evans.
Play your pick'ems and try and beat me. You got this week and next week to get in that top 5 to win some money from me.
If you hadn't started by now, baby, you won't get in the top 5. You can just tell the Wizard you told him so, and you can live with the fact and say, had I played the whole season, I would have beat you. That's all you got.
Heard that one before. Okay, but that's my pick'ems for the week. I got the witch waiting on me. Y'all got anything for me?
No, we appreciate you being nice and brief and as respectful as you can be, which is not very, but we know who you are, so we thank you anyway, and we'll see you next week.
See y'all on Monday. Holla.
Good night, Wizard.
He's such a nut.
Man, y'all gonna leave that motherfucker alone. That one I won't even say shit to him because he ain't finna start with me.
It is Wednesday, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. He left his cup on my desk and I sipped it.
I'm pretty sure that's not safe.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the
No,
emergency.
I'm trying to decide if I need to call the poison control right now or not.
I think you do.
Or something. See, it sounds like it's gonna be a long night for me and Jess after the show.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
I tell y'all what. You know what? Y'all want to tell them what the special surprise is?
Sure.
Shakira.
Go on and drop the news, huh? You want me to do it?
You or Jess? It's your voice that can bring everybody in.
I think Shakira would do a great job. Go ahead, sis.
Well, this evening for you guys, we have a very special interview. On yesterday, we had the distinct pleasure of interviewing Dr. Tim Scott, who is the executive director of the GHSA, along with Mr. Don Core, who is the associate director of GHSA. And maybe I have those titles backwards, but
You have them right.
okay. But these gentlemen were very gracious with their time, and they answered some of the questions that you guys provided us on Monday's show. And if you haven't figured it out, that's the whole purpose of us asking, what would you say if you could speak to the GHSA? So, without further ado, we have an interview for you guys, and we hope that you enjoy it.
Hello, Friday Night Light listeners. I am Jessica Abrams, and I have with me Miss Shakira Brown, Mr. Jimmy Hoggabook, and Mr. Mike Rachel. We'd like you to please join us in welcoming Dr. Tim Scott, who is the executive director of the Georgia High School Association, and Mr. Don Core, who is the associate director of the Georgia High School Association. As they taking the time out to share their expertise and their insights on bylaws, new initiatives, and the playoff ranking system. So the first question that I have is to basically just tell us a bit about yourself, your duties, your roles, your responsibilities. And we can start with Dr.
Hey, yes, ma'am. Hey, and thank you guys for having us. We appreciate the opportunity to share with you. And as you said, I'm Tim Scott. Briefly about me, I'm an educator by trade. I coached and taught for a while, then assistant principal, assistant superintendent, and over 6 years as a superintendent in Dalton was my last job before coming to the Georgia High School Association. And of course, coaching and being a principal, I've worked with the Georgia High School Association for over 30 years on the school side. So I'm having now the opportunity to work out of the office, and there's not, what people don't realize, there's only 13 people here, and we have processed over 450,000 student eligibility forms. So that's how many young people that participate in Georgia. And it's amazing at the work that comes out of an office with just 13 staff members, so really excited to share with you and see how we can continue to improve and make sure that we're transparent in all that we do.
Okay. Mr. Court?
Well, I'm Don Core. I have 34 years in education, started as a teacher and a coach. Then I did some school counseling, and then I became an AD at Etowah High School. And then from there, I was the county AD in Cherokee County. And then during the downturn in the economy, 2010, I got a promotion, almost unwanted, but I became the director of HR. But I still stayed heavily involved in athletics until I retired. And then when I retired, they hired Dr. Hines as executive director. And one of his first things he did was hire me, and I was very appreciative. And I've told y'all already, but tell the listeners, I'm in charge of softball, baseball, wrestling. I'm in charge of the reclassification process, which will involve competitive balance and the postseason rankings. I'm also in charge of sports medicine, which I just mentioned that we are number one in the nation when it comes to protecting our student athletes in the state of Georgia with our rules. So I have a lot of other things I do, smaller items and stuff, but that's what I do. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're super excited about being number one in the country with our policies and procedures on protecting our student athletes. That's a really big deal, and that's done by the Corey Stringer Institute.
Definitely, that's big.
Very commendable. Very commendable.
Wow. We came 8 years ago. We were number 48 in the country, and we came all the way to number one with the help of UGA, Bud Cooper. In our sports medicine advisory council, made up of doctors and trainers and people throughout the state. So we're happy and pleased with that. Hoping it comes out real soon.
Absolutely. I mean, listening to those experts on our sports medicine committee is what really helped us get here, and their knowledge. And like Don said, Bud Cooper is one of the best anywhere.
Yes, sir.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
Well, I do have a question for you all before we get into the nitty gritty of the interview. Of some of our viewers, as we asked yesterday, if you had a question to ask the judge, say what would it be? One of the questions that came up is, are there any plans in the near future to move championship games back to the weekend at the Mercedes-Benz? Any talks going on with that?
Well, that really depends on what the schedule is at Mercedes-Benz. So a lot of times, if you're not familiar, there's not just the SEC championship game. There's HCB game right there too. And so those are 2 weekends. And so sometimes us having to play during the week is how it just works out. And we work with them. We certainly will do that. And maybe do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday if it's available. But again, that has to be something that we work out with Mercedes-Benz and just what all the schedules are between the SEC championship and other bowl games that are played there, and or other activities. It's not just bowl games. It could be concerts that are scheduled, a year or longer out. So that is a year-to-year process, and we look at that every year. Not that we're going to stay in the week all the time, but because sometimes that may not work out either, depending on what they've got scheduled. But They are great partners, and we are thankful to be there.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to say hello to both of you gentlemen, and thank you for your time today. My question is, how does the GHSA plan to deal with bad officiating that could determine the outcome of upcoming playoff games?
Well, for the state championship game, we do have review where officials review calls during the game. Some of that's a little tough when you are talking about doing it earlier than the state championship game because it depends on what facilities a school has, and we have some schools that it's tough to just get internet where their school is located. And so I wouldn't want to tell a school, hey, we got replay review. You can't host a game because you live in far South Georgia or extreme North Georgia in the mountains and you don't have a good internet connection. That wouldn't be fair to those young people, So right now we are reviewing during the state championships at Mercedes-Benz. Now we also have a form that the athletic director or coaches can fill out for a referee review if they feel like they've not gotten good calls and that kind of stuff. So we get feedback that way. Don, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, it's just a very difficult proposition. And then, if you do have it in a game and you're in a high school venue, and what if you only got the camera on one sideline and it play happens on the other sideline? There's so many factors involved. It's not like the NFL games and the college games where they got 32 cameras probably spread around. So, and then if you get into other sports, it's very difficult. I think the one mishap we had, 2 years ago, brought us to doing this, and so we need to. So we just kind of keep looking at it and see what we can do. And I think the football one last year in the state championship was beneficial for everybody. So
and it went well last year using review, and so we will be doing it again this year during the state championship matches.
Sure, sure. And congratulations to you all for implementing that into the state championship game. We know the facilities of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium can and does allow that versus just any old high school stadium or arena. So we do congratulate the GHSA for putting that in, because I myself is an alumni and fan of Peach County. We have had some of those things happen to them in state championship game, we feel. And Mike Thirsty here is Cedar Grove, who was at the game with the Cedar Grove and Sandy Creek that started that replay. So I know us as a fan base is really, really happy about the replay.
We're really excited. We're thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Now, my question for you gentlemen, and part of the reason why we wanted to get you all on is when it came to the new ranking, and am I correct that this cycle is 3 years and not 2?
Oh, it's 2-year cycle.
Okay, it is a 2-year cycle. And the privates was pulled out and will be playing in their own playoff. So that created what we think is called the PSR rankings for the playoffs. So can we get in kind of idea how that work with the PSR ranking? And does it qualify 4 teams for each region like always? Or what? What is the basis of this PSR ranking?
Want me to handle this, Dr. Scott?
Yeah, go ahead. That way you can, because some of the regions will come up with their top 4, but some of the privates, if they were a 2 and 3 or 1 and 4, or even 1 and 2, they come out. So that's where the PSR rankings come in. So Don, you want to hit that for them?
Yeah. What we do is we take the PSR rankings at the end. So, and the first thing we do is we get the top 4 in every region. And they are what we call an automatic qualifier. All right. So all top 4 in every region automatically qualifies, and we put them out there for everybody to see. So, And then we have preferential seating. All number ones in that classification or the private school bracket would get, if we got 6 number ones, they would get the top 6 seeds. And say 3A's got 6 number ones, they'd get the top 6 seeds. We would go on PSR rankings to do that. Okay, so the highest PSR ranking would be number 1, and we'd go all the way through number 6. Then we'd go to the number 2s. Okay, we have 7 number 2s. Well, they would be 7 through 13. They would get ranked. 2s would get ranked in their PSR. Okay. Then the rest of them, we count out how many 3rd and 4th we have, and how many we already put in the bracket, and then we from there we'll determine how many at-large teams make it on the PSR. Okay, so 3s, 4s, and our at-large teams are put in the bracket starting at spot 14 in this case. So they're at 14, the first one with the highest PSR. So an at-large team could bump all the 3s and 4s to get that home game on as being a 14, a 15, or a 16 seed. So the PSR is very important, but the top 4 automatically get in. And then that's the procedure we go through. We rank priority number 1s, priorities number 2s, and then we do PSR on 3s, 4s, and at-larges.
Well, thank you for clearing that up, because that was a point of contention with people as to whether or not 3 or 4 would you make it if you were a 3 or a 4. So thank you for clearing that up for us. We appreciate it.
And I'm looking at the rankings now for 3A. As stand, it has Jefferson 1, Harlem 2, Cherokee Bluff 3, Peach County 4, Sandy Creek 5. So with what you're saying, Mr. Core, is that considering Cherokee Bluff cannot win their region because of the loss to Jefferson, that would put Peach County as a 3rd seed, Sandy Creek as a 4th seed, and Cherokee Bluff will go down behind any other region champ.
Yes, they would be. I mean, I guess in this instance, you say they would be a number 2 or a 3 or a 4. So all those ones, they won their region. They're going to get those top 6, 7, 8 seeds.
Okay.
And then we go to all the number 2s. And then after that, we put everybody else in. So if Cherokee Bluff falls all the way to a 3, they would even fall out behind the 1s and the 2s.
Okay.
So, and another thing, because our perception from when it was first released, we was telling our listeners from what we was gaining, and I'm glad you all are clarifying this and clearing it up for us, because we was thinking that if you are 4th seed in your region and you are 2-8 record, and there's somebody in another region that has a 4-6 record that played better than you, had a higher PSR ranking, that you could take them and not that 4th seed. But what you're saying is that 4th seed will still be taken along with that 5th seed as an at-large, and that 5th seed at large will have a higher ranking than that 4th seed with the lower PSR, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Now, if you'll go to, when you have time, if you'll go to our website under softball and volleyball, we posted the standings. It's an Excel document. I turned it into PDF, but I color code them. All the goals are the number 1s. The blues are number 2.
Blues are number 2. Yes, sir.
And the pinks are the 3s. And you'll see some of those that don't have a color code there to at large, where they're in the top 20.
Yeah.
So they didn't even finish in the top 4 in their region. One thing I've been saying for years, not all regions in our state are created equal.
Yes, sir.
There's some big differences. So,
definitely.
No, so But yes, that's the case. And I'll do that same for football. I got to figure out a way. We're going to do it on Sunday morning. What's that? The 10th.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I got to do it somehow. I'm probably going to do it on a Zoom meeting with the schools. But I don't have a way of. I go to Score Atlanta to do my podcast, and they probably don't want to do one on a Sunday. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it. I'll probably do it as a Zoom for football because they need to know right away. They got to swap film, which is easier now. They do it all in huddle. They don't have to meet and sign contracts. They can do all of that, from their desk at their school. So we're going to try to do as quick as we can.
Yes, sir. Now, the reclassification, 2 years. What are some things that you're looking forward to or implementing in next year's cycle? I'm sorry, the next cycle.
Well,
that's we won't. You want it, Dr. Scott?
No, that's fine. I was going to say we're looking at that competitive balance model. We're sharing that with everyone. Matter of fact, I'm meeting at Marist High School tomorrow with quite a few guys from that area and just discussing that with them. We've got some people that really like it, and we've got some people that question it and are concerned about it. And, we feel like our job here at the office is to make sure we get all the information out, help everybody clear up any questions they may have. And then our executive committee or trustees has to make that decision on what they feel is best for their area, their school, and that kind of stuff. So we're working on that. Now, whether we'll have it for the next round or not, I don't know. But that is something that we are discussing, and we'll see this spring kind of where we're at with it when we meet again in April. But as always, if we don't do that, we'll be looking at FTE counts, student counts, and probably follow the same procedure we are now. I'm sure a big discussion will be, do private schools come back in, or do you keep them out if nothing changes in how we classify? So a lot of those questions will come up and a lot to answer over the next 2 years.
Yes, sir. Could you explain the competitive balance?
Well, yes, sir. It's based on how you perform in the playoffs. Don has been working on this as well. So once you get there, you get points, and it's by school, not by sport. You get points in each sport, but the points are kept for a school total. So you're looking at everything. So you may be really good in football, but not very good in anything else. And so therefore your points aren't real high. Or you may not be good in football, which is what everybody notices, but in golf, tennis, cross country, you're killing it. And so therefore you're scoring a lot of points because you're advancing and doing a lot. So, but those points are kept. And then when you divide, for example, basketball, in Georgia, about 95% of our schools play basketball. Well, and when you do that, instead of basketball being worth 100 points for winning a state championship, because only 95% of the schools have basketball, then you get 95 points. For gymnastics, let's say there's 25% of the schools have gymnastics. So then the team that wins the gymnastics championship, the maximum points maybe be 25. Okay, that way, some of those sports that don't have very many teams, you're not getting a whole lot of points for that, and it's up there. So you divide it by that, and then we look at each school because schools are different. Some schools may play 28 sports when others may play 10. So if you score points, you divide that number of sports that you have into the points, and we call it a next gen number. And that's how you get an average, because it's not fair to say this team has 20 activities and they scored 200 points. This team has 10 activities. They scored 100 points, that they're, 100 points better because of, just a difference in sports. So use that number to make sure you have what we call a next gen number. And then that's how we rank them. And then at that point, once they're ranked, the reclassification committee would then look, and we want to make sure that whether it's single A or 6A, that it's competitive. And so if it's a 5A team and you've got some schools that have just dominated 5A and they're at the top, then maybe we bump those to 6. Where if you had some teams that maybe these teams went an entire cycle and never made a playoff game in anything, so they may drop down to 4. But the reclass committee would make that decision whether it was one team or, and then sometimes you may not put anybody up because you see it's very competitive and you don't need to move anybody. So, but those are things that we're discussing right now. There's not been a hard decision made on any of that as far as this is exactly how it's going to be. All that's part of our discussion. But the whole idea is to try to make sure that we are more competitive. If you look at football scores last year or over the last couple of years, 40% of the games were won by 30 or more points. That's not, and then, had a running clock at the end of a game, and that's not what we want. We want to really try to work to make it competitive if we can.
Good.
Okay.
One other thing, just to add to what Dr. Scott said, that reclassification, Dr. Scott, myself, none of us have a vote. Okay. We roll out, the executive committee and the reclass committee do all the voting. They make the proposals. We do make proposals. They don't have to listen to us, but and what happened this last reclassification cycle, was just came out of the blue. They got enough votes together to kick the privates out to the different championship, and we didn't know anything about it in the office till it happened that day, in a vote. So we don't have a vote. We do what they tell. We implement whatever rules they tell us to implement, and do it to the best of our ability. GHSA gets blamed for some of this, but us in the office, the 13 individuals in the office, don't have a vote in it one way or the other.
No, like Don said, we don't vote, but we work closely with our trustees and executive committee to try to, discuss things and hopefully make sound decisions for our organization.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Interesting.
Now, I think, Jess, if you want to touch on the South Georgia thing that the fans was talking about.
Yes, I was going to ask if anyone had any questions, but before that, I do want to kind of ask and kind of piggyback off of what my sister asked earlier. We know that, or we've been told that there's a referee shortage in the state of Georgia. What would you say to those individuals to try to encourage those people in the community that might have knowledge about refereeing to, take up arms and, kind of help with that shortage?
Well, there has been a shortage, and it is difficult to get officials a lot of times, but our numbers have grown a little bit. So, and we're doing things like Officials Appreciation Day and stuff like that to try to share a little love and with them and encourage them. But one of the things we realize that every student coming out of high school that loves their sport may not necessarily make it in college. They may not be playing in college. So we want to encourage them, hey, man, you want to stay involved? You come on and become an official. And Don, correct me if I'm wrong here, but when you take their hourly rate, it's around $30 an hour they get for a game.
Yeah, and in some sports, it can be a little more.
And so that's not a bad job when you or bad, side job when you're deciding when you want to work.
Yeah.
How you want to work. So we do go to career fairs. Our people in the office go and we talk to young people about, hey, get involved, be a part of it. I had a son that was at Georgia, and he got into calling intramurals at Georgia because he needed a little part-time job. Well, from that, he got into calling baseball and softball, fast pitch softball and baseball, and he was a pretty decent baseball player in high school and loved the game. And that's, he made a little extra money that way. And then some guys just enjoy being around the sport and being a part of it. So we encourage them to do that. And when I go to a football game during the fall or those events that I've been to, I try to make sure I go see the officials. I thank them for the job they do and encourage them to get out there. And so we're going to continue to do that. Don, anything that you want to add?
We have a lot of initiatives to try to improve our fishing. I think we're probably one of the top top states in the country when it comes to our officials and the number of officials we have. It's getting better every day. We got some sports that are really growing. I got one group in my wrestling that grew 33 officials in just this year to start with. Another group grew 10 officials. So, some of our sports, but we're recruiting across the board. First year officials, we give incentives to. They don't have to pay dues and different things. So there's a lot of things we do for officials. And and we're trying to make it attractive for them. I officiated high school and college. I've worked a state championship for Georgia High School in Rome one time, and I've done college baseball as well. So I enjoy it. I'm a former baseball coach. I enjoy being on the field, and that's what we try to get them. Hey, give back to your sport. Give back to the sports you love and make a difference in it. So.
And we also, if it's a new official, we give them scholarships for some of their training, so they don't have to pay those fees to go to those.
What about the grant? You want to hit the grant from Arthur Blank?
Yeah, the Arthur Blank Foundation is very good to us, and they give us money, so we give grants to the officials to help them with, uniform and different stuff that they may need to get started. So there are incentives to try to recruit officials and get people involved.
Okay, great. And so the last question, we won't keep you long. We have a lot of listeners, and there are a lot of them in South Georgia, and we get a lot of feedback. There's a stigma there that the Georgia High School Association is more concerned with those schools in the Metro Atlanta area and North Georgia as opposed to South Georgia, especially when it comes to travel costs for state championship games. And I'm talking specifically for football because it's a football podcast, but you can just address it across the board. Travel costs, people complain that the GHSA football games that are broadcast, and I don't know that you all have anything to do with it, but they don't focus on South Georgia teams. They just feel slighted. So what would you all do to assure our listeners and our fans in the South or the southern portion of the state that you do care about all schools and you do have the best interest at heart?
Well, let me start off by saying, I coached at Northside Warner Robins.
Green Street.
You know Coach Hudson at Peach County?
Yes.
All right. I coached him when I was at Northside.
Right.
I've got a son that's an offensive coordinator at Richmond Hill, just outside of Savannah.
And not to interrupt you, Dr. Scott, real quick, but also was a hell of a quarterback for Northside, let me say.
Yes.
Yeah, Don was a good one now. I love South Georgia now, and they do a great job with football. So if you're not familiar, we use a NFHS network. Are y'all familiar with the network?
Yes.
And we try to get all of our schools to put their games streaming. And those schools can then take their regular radio announcers, or they could use students or whatever they want to use, and they can plug in, and that can be seen by anybody anywhere over the streaming networks and that kind of stuff. Now, it is true that some of the GPTV and the others, that they select games, and we don't tell them who to select, and they don't ask us. But we really encourage our folks around the state to use NFHS for their streaming purposes. And if they have a lot of subscribers or subscriptions within their school, the school gets money back. We have over 41 there, and there's 460 schools roughly in Georgia. There's about 300 of those that use NFHS. But there's a far fewer that use it on a regular basis. Those schools that use it on a regular basis, there's 41 of those that average better than $10,000 a year off of NFHS that goes back to their school or their sports. And we have some schools that are upwards to $35,000 or $40,000 a year that they make just by using the NFSH streaming services. So we're encouraging to do that to try to get that out so everybody can watch. If you think about it, Valdosta, there's a military base there. There could be a lot of family all over the world that may want to watch, cousins or grandchildren or whatever participate in sports, and same way in Camden County and some of those places. And so that's what we're encouraging. But I think as far as the office here, we have people that are split. And then when we talk about the GHSA as an organization, there are representatives from every single region that is in charge of making sure their region gets, what they need. And that's something that we talk about. But I don't care if you're in region 1-6A or 1-2A, you've got a representative that sits on our executive committee that, has a voice for your area.
Okay, great. So we encourage you to, if you have any concerns, speak with your representatives. So kind of like Congress, speak to them so you can get your concerns heard.
And listen, reach out to us, man. I'll be glad. I get people that call all the time, and we might not can agree, but we can sure sit down and talk about it.
Well, that's awesome. Are there any other questions?
I just like to say, in regards to your last comment, Dr. Scott, that is very good to hear, because a lot of people are under the assumption that they cannot reach out to you, or if they do, they feel like they won't be heard, or it doesn't matter. And I am like the only person on this panel that sits in South Georgia. Like, I'm Long Thomasville down here, but in my area, it is a feeling like, hey, we're not seen, we aren't heard. And to hear you say that, it kind of gives a little hope, like, maybe brighter days are coming for those that feel that way. So I just want to say thank you for saying that, and thank you for your time today, both of you gentlemen.
Yeah,
well, and we will, and if I can't do anything, I certainly will help them get in touch with somebody at their local school that can help with something. But certainly reach out to us. Our numbers and email are on our website, that you can get any of that information, and please reach out, because we want to hear from you.
Okay.
Well, this has really been a treat. Again, we know that you all are busy. We know that you're shorthanded, but you have taken time out of your day to address us and address people in the state of Georgia. And we certainly appreciate your time. And please don't hesitate. We would love to hear from you again in the future. I'm glad that this line of communication has been open. I can't thank you enough for thinking enough, and you thought it not robbery to come and sit and talk to us and just kind of explain how things go in the Georgia High School Association. So we thank you.
Thanks for having us.
We appreciate it, and listen, we'll come back anytime. Just give us a holler.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir, Dr.
Thank
Scott.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, day.
And Steve.
Well. That was
clap it
a pretty good interview. Clap it
It
up.
was,
Clap it up.
Clap it up. Clap it up.
it was pretty awesome.
I must say, y'all did great.
So did you.
So did you, sir. So did you.
Man, I was busy getting polls together once he said that.
Yeah,
So
he was. If y'all heard the clicking in the background, just know Thirsty. Soon as he find out how that formula works for the playoffs, he was working on those playoff prediction, and that's why y'all saw him release them shortly after we finished up that interview.
and we hope you all enjoyed it, and we hope you all gained some more insight, and it answered some questions, because it certainly enlightened me, because I learned a little bit more about how things work with GHSA, and especially this power ranking stuff, which is confusing for everybody, and they explain their rationale about the competitive modeling, all that stuff. So again, y'all, if anybody has any questions about it, in any of these groups that you have, just kind of refer them back to this podcast, and take them to like the tell them to listen to the whole thing, but if not, send them to around the 40-minute mark and let them listen all the way through so they can hear. Okay.
And if you all listen to the competitive balance thing that they were suggesting, again, that is not set in stone. They did explain how that would work. Me personally, after speaking with Dr. Scott, I think the GHSA main concern is what he was saying about just fairness. It's really not fair when you look at a school that can dominate a classification for years, not just in football, in all sports. A lot of people have more just access to more kids because of larger areas and things like that versus smaller areas, and those kids don't have the competitive edge that a lot of other kids have or other schools have, and that model will kind of balance things out on an average per sport, per school. I don't like that model when I first heard about it, but actually talking to them and listening to it, I think it's better than we initially thought it would be.
Obadiah, you wouldn't be you if you didn't do that.
Yeah,
but
it's Obadiah.
but it's needed. You know what I mean? You keep people, listen, there's a saying that I say: the doer does what the checker checks, right? So you got to hold people accountable. You got to hold their feet to the fire so they know, okay, I am watching you. So
Right.
listen, do what you got to do.
All right. So with that being said, and now that we have a better understanding of how these playoff brackets work, y'all ready to talk some playoff brackets?
We are
Let's
so
get
into
it.
it.
Let's get into it.
Okie doke. So we're gonna start from the bottom this time.
Started
Today,
from the
y'all cool with
bottom.
that? Yeah, we're
Started
gonna
from the
start out with a
bottom. Now
private
we here,
classification.
and now we here.
Yeah. So we're gonna start out with a private classification. So after feedback and research, come to find out, there's only gonna be about 25 private schools playing in the playoffs this year, vice the 28 that was originally put forth.
So listen, let me ask this real quick, and then we can get into these playoff brackets.
hmm
So, do you
hmm
think this is sustainable? Do you think this um private playoff is going to last past this cycle?
And let me
I,
take this real quick, bro.
okay, go ahead.
Um, if you listen to the interview, you heard executive director Don Core states the GHSA has nothing to do with the way um, classification and reclassification is done. They have a committee for that. And the committee comes up just like this private being taken out. They had no idea that privates was going to be taken out. It just was presented to their office, and all they have to do is follow the rules that's been set forth. They are the governing body that govern the rules that has been made by the uh, classification committee, reclassification committee. So with that being said, if you think about the cycles that has been going on, whether it went from 5 classification to 6 classification to 7 classification to private having their own to private playing with us to private being out, I don't think it would last, because whoever's on this committee, they're always probably getting gripe from everybody, so they're just changing up, which seems to be every 2 or 3 cycles. So it may go through next cycle, but I don't think it would be something that would continue to go. Thirst, your take?
My take on it is this: the major players in the private classification, i.e., those region representatives, are going to voice their opinion and say, we're right back where we were and we don't like it.
Yeah.
We were able to compete and play against public schools, and you see how many private schools lost. You see how many private schools won. Put us back, keep it one playoff for everybody. Do not separate our playoffs. Let us compete against the public, let public compete against us. That's what I see them going back to.
All right. So with that being said, let's do these brackets.
All right, private classification. Now, I do want to go ahead and make this disclaimer up front. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. The seedings are based on current GHSA standings and the dates. If you can see the dates that are on here, the dates on here are correct for their respective state championship game. Dates and times are corrected. They got updated yesterday. I updated them yesterday. So everything you see on the screen is as of the ending of week 11. Keep that in mind. All right, let's roll. Top left quadrant. I think we all agree Savannah Christian coming out of that one, right?
Savannah Christian.
Okay.
And
Top right.
possibly playing North Cobb Christian in the semi.
Okay. So that I can agree with. I got no problem with that. Right. Top right. This one, to me, the top right is wide open, but I think Athens Academy.
Athens Academy probably. Don't know what Darlington doing too much this year, but I mean, probably paying Lovett, yeah. With Athens Academy coming out.
Let me ask you this real quick. I don't disagree with your model, but do you think that Aquinas playing in a 3A region kind of has them battle tested some?
Now, you remember Mr. Paul Bird, big time Aquinas guy. You remember that's what he came on and said. They're playing in a 3A classification this year to kind of make them ready for the playoffs. But I mean, I always said, you're going to play football, you're going to play football. Whether you playing in single A or you playing in 6A, it's about the Jimmys and Joes. That's all it comes down to. That's all it comes down to.
Well, not all, because if the Jimmys and Joes are equal, then
it comes to the X's and O's. But you playing against the Jimmys and Joes in 3A ain't gonna make you no better than playing against the Jimmys and Joes in 2A or single A. Especially, and I said this, all my Perry Panther fans listening that wanted to give me so much grief today, I said this and I say it again, especially when 3A is the bottom of the pit in any classification in Georgia high school football this year.
Okay.
And then plus on top of that, Aquinas didn't perform well in 3A anyway.
At all.
Okay. Let's see. Oscar says Lovett is going to be dangerous on that night. Mr. Brown says Lovett is going to be dangerous too. So you got 2 for Lovett. Y'all say Athens Academy is going to come out of there. Tick says the open playoff is the only fair method. A region loss to a private shouldn't count if they're not in the public playoff.
Makes sense, Tick. Makes sense. Now, here's the thing about this bottom right quadrant. It's crazy that the top 2 in that, to me, is Holy Innocent and Hebron Christian. And they're looking at a second round matchup.
And it's only because of, one, region standings and how they fell out in the power rankings, based on their region standing.
I agree. But let's be honest, I like Hebron Christian all the way to the semis.
Yeah, I think we both do, and I think our listeners agree on that. The only thing is, who's gonna play them? Me personally, I think it's probably end up being West.
Yeah,
playing them there. So, playing them right there. All right, bottom left. Who wins between GAC and Fellowship Christian?
Fellowship Christian.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Sound like we're on the same page today.
I agree.
But
I like
that's a nice
Cavalry
look.
there. I
And I'm
know
with you
I
on.
know a lot of the Savannah people was talking about why we high on Cavalry. But like we said, if you go and look at what Cavalry has done this year with their one loss against a powerhouse outside of the state of Georgia, and then stepped in and gonna win their region in 3A. Long County PSR was high. Long County was almost in the ranking. So it wasn't just an easy reason for Cavalry Day. So I think Cavalry will be okay. Now the Cavalry and Christian matchup, man, that's gonna be tough. But me personally, I got to go with Christian.
Yeah, Mr. Brown says if that happens, Calvary won't be able to run this time.
Yeah, I think. Well,
Well, I
Mr. Brown,
mean,
I know
let me
you're a
see what we
Savannah
got.
Christian guy. I know you're a Savannah Christian guy, but Calvary has owned you all for the last couple of years. So
And has Elmo, what's going on? Oh, while the interview was going on, Mr. Robert checked in. How you doing, Mr. Robert? Elmo says Calvary Day will win the championship.
I don't know. They Savannah is strong this year. I mean, I hate to say it, but with the firepower they returned from last year, being state runner up in 3A, it's hard to go against Savannah Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And I like to see them against Hebron Christian in the championship.
Well, all I know is December 6th is gonna be a good day for some games for sure.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
All right, y'all ready to move on to D2?
Let's get it.
Yeah, Mr. Brown says they definitely did, but ask Calvary why they haven't scheduled us this year, a rivalry game at that. Because they don't
They
like
know
y'all.
because they ain't trying to let y'all get y'all lick back.
Nah, they
All
know
right,
y'all cheat too. I'm kidding. I kid. Not really.
Bound in Greene County, if you ask me.
Down in Greene County.
That's just me. Anybody disagree? Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Come on, podcast man, what you think?
They finna say some clinching early.
How about Glasscock?
What stop?
What stop?
Hold on. In Wood.
In Wood. And guess what? Greene County get their lick back from that close loss in the semis of last year in Bowden with the questionable calls. I like Greene County in the semis.
Let's see. Okay, Green about we got that. Oscar Hale, we already got that right there. Tell us which one. Tori said clinch will be tough. It'll be a tough out for Greene County.
I mean, Greene County got the game at home, so
yeah.
And I'm not sure Lincoln beat Green. I know we're going by just today, as of the end of last week, but I'm just speaking. I'm not so sure about Lincoln beating Green anyway, but we shall see.
Let's see. They got Brooks right there. Well, we're
Man,
gonna do the bottom
so y'all just gonna sleep on Wilkinson County against Brooks?
Yeah.
Go down to the bottom left, please. Marquis said
Yep.
if Glasscock County win a championship, is the day hell will freeze over.
Lincoln County and Manchester in the quarters.
Ooh.
Man, that's gonna be a game.
If it okay, y'all pick that one. I'm not. I don't have anything to do with it.
I still like Manchester.
Okay, what about
Irwin Tryon, maybe? Yeah, Irwin Tryon, I would say.
Meta said, hold on just a minute now.
Hold a bill. Well,
yeah.
Meta, you better bring it. Irwin.
Let's see Tryon. You think
Tryon is pretty good, and I just think once they play something like South Georgia football, I don't know if they'll be strong enough. Now,
Tryon lets us down every year.
Now, minus putting Greene County in. This is kind of how, since we've been doing the brackets, we've been all coming up with this same Final Four. Bowden, Irwin County, Brooks County, Manchester. Now, I think Greene County would be a lot stronger, and I'll take Greene County. But those four, minus the Greene County Bowden matchup, has been continuing to come up in our models.
Mm-hmm.
So, now what say you fans? Brooks County, Manchester, Irwin County, Greene.
Ooh, my.
I could see a Irwin County, Manchester matchup. And like I said the other day, if you're looking at a Brooks County Irwin, I wouldn't be surprised. But if it was my pick, I would say probably Irwin and Manchester.
Now, if the semifinals were switched and say Brooks County was on the other side, do you see them making it to the championship game?
Yeah, I think Brooks would beat Greene. I don't think Irwin can beat Manchester. Brooks have a hell of a receiver, and we watched Greene County play. Greene County is so strong against the run with that front seven that they have, and the stud of a safety they have. Maybe y'all can help me in it, Mr. Montford, if y'all alone. Number one, I think they say he was a Florida State commit.
Mm-hmm.
Last year quarterback, playing with some receiver and some safety for him this year. But I think Brooks County will be a little strong for Greene County.
Now the loyal listeners are saying Brooks over Manchester.
And what?
Listen, this ain't about you. It's about what they're saying.
And I ain't gonna lie, I agree with them.
I'm just gonna say it all depends on all I'm saying is it depends on the coin flip.
Yeah. I mean, it's just this is the Division 2 single A is tough. And it's just I'm sitting here looking like any of these teams can do it. I can't pick them. They're all phenomenal teams.
I go back to say this again. In what?
Listen, I'm gonna read what the people say. Let's see. Let's see. Of course, Tori says Brooks. Mr. Jones, welcome. He says Brooks all day. Obadiah says Brooks. Miss Butts, welcome to the podcast. She says Brooks has a hell of a defense. Kenneth Hurst says Brooks wins. Jabo says Brooks wins with the new hammer. Zach says Brooks. Marquise says Green versus Lincoln is gonna be lit. And Ebony says in football. Y'all talking about in what? She said
I heard that, Miss Butt. I heard that. But in what?
Tori says we won't be on the other side, Thirsty. You will see. We will drag them. Mr. Robert says Manchester. Roscoe says nobody scored over 14 this year on Brooks County's defense. And we got one of the toughest strengths of schedules in the state. Larry Jones says Brooks looks good now. They have a great running back, too.
Yeah.
Tori says y'all give our defense no respect here. Thomasville is in Division 1, Mr. Jones.
I think Mr. Jones is responding to Mrs. Smith. Because
okay, I'm sorry.
Our final score was 35-12, Mr. Smith.
Well,
Pierce County won 17-14, so
it's close enough.
I mean, it just was a statement, babe.
Oh yeah, I know. But bottom line, the defense doesn't allow less than 20 points per game. Let's go with that. Oh Lord. Oscar said Brooks wins with the Toy Story hammer. And let me say this, Oscar, I got to go back. You asked if the interview we did was pre-recorded. It was pre-recorded just because of folks like you.
Like you, Oscar. We couldn't take the chance of you, man.
Tick says Manchester versus Irwin for the championship. So we got it. So if you don't take that thing off towels,
and maybe Dodge.
She caught that quick.
Yeah, Marquise Fitzgerald beat Brooks, but that was very, very controversial, and we not bring that up.
This still
So
about them 14 points because that final score was 23-13 too.
Mm,
But I'm done now.
there you go.
and there it is. Okay,
Call
so
they
top
bluff, sis.
left.
Call they bluff. Tunes.
Uh-huh.
My lord. Now that's a quarterfinal for your butt there.
My lord, my lord, my
Let's
lord.
damn do it.
Okay, so what y'all say?
Listeners, what's going on? Thomasville or Tunes?
I know what Obadiah gonna say. Thomas, he gonna say Thomasville. What's going on, Mr. Virgil? I don't know if I spoke to you tonight, but welcome, Mr. Virgil. If I didn't, it don't hurt to say hey twice. Thomasville. So who you got, Barry? What's going on, King Hustle? You got Thomasville or Toombs? We don't have no Toombs County people here to fight for themselves. Marquis said he likes Toombs. Gabe Garrett, welcome. He says Toombs on top. John Wilkins says DeVille. Marcus Bond says Elbert County is hell. So, and welcome to the podcast, people. So basically, he's saying don't sleep on Elbert County. Brian Wembley says Toombs County because that quarterback is something serious. Larry Jones says Thomasville. Look like you know how to do
slash. Let's slash that one.
Don't slash it.
Okay, I figured it would come eventually.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
Lord, here go Obadiah. I ain't gonna even read that. I'm not gonna even read that. Let's go now.
Okay.
How dare you? No, I'm kidding. Oh my God, Northeast.
Heard County, maybe.
Yeah. Elbert County has 2 quarterbacks that will shock you. Okay, so they run a 2 quarterback system too. Okay.
Dublin and Fitzgerald, maybe.
Yeah.
Oscar, go to sleep.
I don't
It, okay, for me, it's the Fitzgerald Commerce matchup in the second round that got me
Yeah.
stuck right now.
Yeah.
Because this is what I'm.
so.
Because I'm just saying, you looking at this in the second round. And then you looking at this in the second round.
Worth and Dublin.
I got
Yeah.
Dublin right there.
But see, here's the thing. It's Dublin back in strong enough to handle Worth passing attack.
Good question, sir.
And that's
Mr. Sneed.
You asked the same question in the Commerce Fitzgerald game.
In the Commerce Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
You talking about 2 wing cheat teams versus spread offense, and Commerce run a pretty good has a pretty good run game also.
Tick says no, they're not. He said Dublin is not. And Dublin doesn't really, Dublin doesn't pass a whole lot. They're very run heavy. But then again, Worth County's defense, how is it? I didn't think it was that stellar. Am I right or wrong? Or am I thinking about Cook County?
I don't know.
Cook County that was talking about
stellar,
the defense.
It wasn't that stellar for me, but our game came with other stuff coupled with it. So
okay, listeners, what say yous?
Okay, so before y'all, hold on real fast. Before a decision, man, I just want folks to understand, based on the conversation interview we had with JHSA, this is how the rankings panned out, right?
That boy hell with a spreadsheet. You and me.
I'm just saying, I had to. So gold first place, green second, blue third, purple fourth, white is at large bit. So to kind of help people understand how this postseason rankings is working. So all these are number 1 seeds from their respective regions. Right? And then they got ranked by their power ranking. Hey,
it got to be Oscar. It got to be Oscar.
It is Oscar.
You say you damn nerd.
Hey, It's easy. Hey, it makes it easy for y'all for you to understand, though, right? All right.
Very
So
Okay.
much
y'all
so,
understand how this thing works.
Okay. So let's
So
go
So
back.
just real quick, if you look at Fannin County, Dublin, Thomasville, Heard County, Lamar County are all region champions. Fannin County get the number one seed because their PSR ranking is higher, it's a 0.69, almost a 70%. Where Dublin is sitting at 65, Thomasville at 64. So that's how the rankings is going. If you look at Washington County, who would be a fifth seed, but get to be ranked number 20 as a at large because their PSR is higher than the fourth seed Putnam County
and the third seed.
and the third seed Bremen, the third seed Swainboro, the fourth seed Vidalia. So that's how it goes with the power ranking and the at larges. The first and second are going to be top whatever, 1 through 16 or 1 through 14, depending on how many of the 15, how many of the privates you're taking out of that region.
No, Mr. Stone, Ace isn't private, it's a charter school. So let me read
So
these
that's how that
things.
works. All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because Mr. Jones said they got the best teams playing in the third round. It's a crappy format.
Exactly.
Barry says Worth. Mr. Evans says Worth. Let's see. Ebony says Dublin. Worth's defense won't be enough. Tick says Worth versus Commerce. Mr. Wimbley said, I joined a little late. Who y'all got in that TCC coffee game Friday, real quick? I think the Wizard and the Wizard, Mike and Yo, I think they got Thomas County.
TCC.
But that's not a bad thing for Coffee County because you want that third seat based on these brackets we're going to show you in a minute. Let's see. Mr. Miles says Dublin. Tick says Northeast versus Worth in the state championship.
So y'all saying we got Northeast coming out of the bottom left?
Definitely.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
Okay.
Look at them making it to the semifinals. East side out loud.
That's Northeast. That's not the East side. I told you in Tick.
We're not listen. We're not going there. We're not doing that. Where Northeast is east, because east of Northeast is Jones County and Baldwin County. Let's not do this. North, where Howard is, north of that is Forsyth. And what's north of Bibb County? Forsyth. We're not doing this.
Okay. Fannin County. I'm moving on because I ain't got nothing to do with Bacon.
Thank you.
It's gonna be Fannin County versus one of these two teams right there.
You think so?
Yeah, Fannin County versus Toombs or Thomasville.
Oscar says, no way in hell Worth makes it to the semis. Hell no, over Fitz or Dublin.
But here's the thing. If Thomasville beat Toombs and Dublin do the Thomasville-Dublin matchup, that's the one that I would love to see.
But you can't because you're gonna be busy on Friday night.
Oh yeah. I'd definitely be rolling still with my playoff bracket, but I'm just saying.
What's going on, Chris? He said Dublin versus Fitzgerald if this poll holds up. Mr. Gladden, welcome to the podcast. He said Fitz beats Worth. That's right, Tick. Tell him again. Yes, it is, yo. East side out loud. Obadiah says take the easy road. Regardless, eventually you're going to meet up with the big dogs. Nikki Stones plays Washington County plays Ace Friday night. Tick has Northeast versus Toombs for the championship. What is everybody else saying?
Another interesting matchup.
I don't know.
I love what Northeast is doing right now. Quarterback QB5 and Nick Wolford, probably two of the best athletes in the state of Georgia. But that Fannin County team, man, they just find a way to win. Tick. If y'all can get by Fannin County, I'll be surprised. I don't think you would.
You never know. I mean, because they're balanced. You got to be balanced.
Like I said, if they do, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. So, let's do. You know what we did? You know what we did last year, and we didn't say this year. This year we've gotten sophisticated and saying this is for entertainment purposes only. But in layman's terms, all this is for play.
For
Okay.
play. For play.
Okay.
Don't go pay your money on what FNL said. Y'all
Yeah.
said this. Y'all the expert, like my Perry boys say. Analytics. Your analytics said this. So,
Okay.
Sally used to add quotes.
Okay. Let me
man,
do these real quick. Worth in the championship this year. Mr.
and
Gladden
what?
just tell you what he said. Mr. Gladden says Fannin County has never beat a South Georgia team.
Agreed. But that don't mean that don't be the first time.
Yeah, so
Child,
that's that.
please.
So let's go with 2A. J-Bo does not agree with this. He said Callaway will be there. Oscar says put Morgan back on over there to the left, right on the wall. He likes Callaway. John Wilkins says Thomasville versus Northeast in the
Ooh.
championship on the video.
Ooh. Now that'll be one to see too.
That's an intriguing matchup for real.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, J-Bo likes Elmo likes Pierce County. Of course, Barry likes Pierce County. Let's go to this bottom. We like Burke, Cook, or Applin.
Burke. If you don't stop highlight Appling County, bro,
Bert.
I'm gonna put your mouse on punishment.
Oh my goodness, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think Pierce.
Okay, so Marquis says Bert.
Yeah, of course you will, Augusta.
Roscoe says Brooks, Thomasville, TCC are all playing in the Benz, Highway 84. That's a long
What?
I can
highway.
In
dig.
what? Because I can tell you one. I know
Child,
it's
y'all
one
need to
school on there
shut
that ain't
up.
gonna make it. Huh? Why?
Yeah, y'all
Well,
can
y'all
shut
asked
up.
for the fans input. Let them
You
talk.
did.
Oh, that's all fine, but they still don't have the right to come on here talking. My lord, a snapping turtle.
That's
Cause
not far fetched though. What he's saying is not far fetched though, people. Brooks, Thomasville, and
At
TCC all
all.
playing in the Benz. It's not far fetched.
okay, well,
It's not like he's saying, and I don't mean it like this. I'm sorry, but it ain't like he's saying Beach finna play for the state championship. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
why would you talk about Beach, Shawty? Beach
Yeah,
used to
guess
be
what?
Or
okay.
Lucy Laney.
Say
Lucy
Lucy
Lane.
Lane.
Nah.
Okay, let's try this bottom, man.
I reserve my comment for 5A.
Okay, let's try this bottom.
No comment.
Carver Columbus.
That sounds like something you'll say too.
You forgot about Pike County.
In Wood.
What? Why you
Nah,
gonna put Carver and Love?
nah. See,
What's
there you
up?
go paying homage. There you go paying homage to your big brothers. Take that on off of there, man.
Hi, Mr.
Uh-uh.
Missouri. Thompson is. I think they're in the top. They're in the upper bracket.
No,
So.
Thompson is right here in the bottom left quadrant.
Oh, okay.
Take that off of there, man, and put Rockmart over there.
Bear says Rockmart.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Hayville Charter there probably, yeah. That man,
Hey,
you see that man sticking up for his big brother?
hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? You know what? All I'm saying is if it stays like that, that's all I'm saying. Be prepared for it. Don't be shocked.
Okay.
Man, the new CA looking out for the old kids. Okay.
Okay. So I don't think everybody sold on that Morgan County, but we're gonna go with it.
That's fine. For entertainment, for play.
For
Morgan
play.
County. It don't matter because the bottom Carver Columbus and Rockmart is what you're looking at.
My Lord.
So you think so Rockmart renews the keeps the rivalry going and beats them?
Okay, check this out. How crazy would it be if Pierce and Rockmart repeat from last year?
Not crazy. I'm not saying it's gonna be crazy. I'm just,
No,
hey, it's
I'm
a
saying it'll
conversation
be
piece.
crazy. I'm saying it'll be crazy if you had the same two teams back in there again this year.
Nah, I wouldn't be too crazy.
That was the 2A state championship last year, Rockmart and Pierce. To have that rematch, that would be crazy. In a reclassification year, 4A schools dropping down to 2A, 3A schools dropping down to 2A, and Pierce and Rockmart remains on top of 2A, that'll be crazy, bro.
So, do you think Rockmart get back?
They not gonna play Pierce. They're gonna play Carver Columbus.
I just wanted somebody to say it so we could piss Barry Van off.
Man, we love Barrett, man. Good brother of the show, but like I said, Barrett, Pierce, that defense Carver Columbus been showing, man. It's ridiculous, man.
Barrett said you drunk, yo.
Nah,
Not
that's
yet, bro.
me. That's me.
He
Matter
got
of
us
fact, let me go
confused
pull.
on it, bro.
Matter of fact, let me go pull another one up while y'all digest that.
I mean, I can read the comments, but they all over the place. Y'all just have your opinions on who the hell gonna win, because I got all kind of matchups: Callaway and Carver, Pearson, Morgan.
Callaway is a real strong team, man. They had a good showing against Opelika out of Alabama.
No, they
Who
didn't. They got their butt whooped.
no. It was a pretty good showing. They
It was
fought.
35-0, if I'm not mistaken. Check it now. I think they got beat to sleep, but
Okay.
they get the benefit of the doubt. Just check it. I could be wrong. I've been wrong
Okay.
before.
A lot, but anyway,
You better be glad it ain't Friday.
Callaway
Hey,
playing a good
gonna make
ball,
it
man.
Friday.
And
But
Opelika is
Callaway lost 48-13.
and Opelika is like top 2 school in Alabama this year. So that's fine, man. Callaway will be okay. I like them to win the region and to make it to the semis, but they don't beat Rockmart. Jefferson and Harlem.
With that bracket right there, for sure.
What about Cherokee Bluff and Jefferson again for the quarters?
I would not put it past Cherokee Bluff to beat Harlem. Bottom line is, ain't neither one gonna beat Jefferson.
Cedar Grove and
Well,
Luella.
what you smoking on?
I'm gonna say
What
this.
you?
I'm gonna say this. If that quarterfinal matchup right there happened in that top right quadrant, I like Douglas. I like Douglas. I damn sure do.
I
Douglas
don't,
got their
man.
lit back on Sandy Creek this year, and they gonna get theirs back on Cedar Grove. They gonna get theirs back on Sandy Creek.
Okay.
Well, that matchup there all depends on what happens Friday between Douglas and Stevenson.
Mm-hmm. How you doing, Mike Daniels? How's Brunswick doing? We will get to Brunswick, and we'll get to those brackets in just a minute. And
Two more classifications. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Westover don't come out of there, man. I really wouldn't.
And
I mean, North
that's who
Hall.
I was about to hit.
Yeah, North Hall is playing some good ball, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Westover. I think we sleeping on LaGrange.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I think we sleeping on LaGrange.
Well, I don't like one of them.
These
That
bottom
ugly.
folks. You know
Yeah,
what?
that's ugly.
Well, maybe we need to be team 4.
It's impossible for us to be team 4.
No, it ain't. All you got to do is give up a lose.
And won't.
Tank on Friday. It don't even matter who come out this bracket because they not gonna get past Jefferson. I'm sorry.
So you like Jefferson? Yeah, put Calhoun over there, I guess.
For the time being.
Yeah.
Mike said leave his people alone.
Huh?
Mike Daniels, I'm sorry. Mr. Daniels, I'm sorry. You are the Original Mike. I'm so sorry. Could
I
you?
guess we looking at a Keach and Jefferson championship.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
What
But
says he thirds?
he gonna say Sandy Creek.
I know. That's why I want to hear
Sandy Creek and Jefferson.
her. Her.
You're not gonna change my mind on that one because Sandy Creek can deal with your high paced offense.
In what? What stop? They couldn't deal with married person. Come on.
Just say okay.
Okay,
Okay.
we know what happened with that game. We ain't gonna talk
Okay.
about it though.
Okay.
All right. 4A. All I know is this is gonna be an interesting matchup right here. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
P-E-R-R-Y.
Yeah, that
Woo!
second round matchup gonna be interesting. Now, I disagree with the East Side Perry. I really do.
You think it's
I
gonna
mean,
be
we
playing
know
on
it's
the east side?
hold on. We know this is gonna be East Side right here.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have Perry down here. We know that.
Yeah. Yes. And I think Perry hosting Eastside coming to Perry. I like Perry in that. It really don't matter because in that top quadrant, I think Creekside come out of there. So
Thanks.
And the listeners aren't saying because they too busy fussing with each other. Carver and Pierce still fussing, and then Coffee and TCC still fussing. Now Mr. Daniels wants to know, because he hadn't been keeping up. We welcome you to the podcast, and he wants to know what you think about Brunswick. So we're gonna stop right here and wait for the 4A to catch up, and we're gonna tell them. I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna say, and they'll verify what I'm gonna say, Mr. Daniels. What they say is, and you probably won't like it, that Brunswick has a very weak schedule, and that when it's time to get to the playoffs to play a high caliber team, they wet the bed, usually the first, maybe the second round of the playoffs. Now, I could be wrong. These analysts might say something different, but I'm going to ask, is that accurate, gentlemen?
you are right, Mr. Abrams.
You are right. Because the only thing I'm gonna add to it is Savannah area.
Bless
I'm leaving it at
you.
that.
But you know what, Mr. Daniels? Prove them wrong. I know I've seen Brunswick make it to the state championship game. Matter of fact, I don't know if you know John Willis. I'm sure you do, but he and my dad were very, very good friends, probably very, very close friends in high school. So I mean in college. They went to college together. So, we always rooted for them. So bless y'all.
Who went to the third round last year?
Brunswick.
No, they didn't.
That's what he said. I'm not sure, but I know they got a hell of a tight end. I know they got a hell of a tight end down there.
Brunswick got to the second round and got their head bashed in by Mary. Don't start that.
But they got a hell of a tight end. They got a hell of a tight end down there.
I mean, he look like he need to be playing basketball or something. Like that boy is huge.
Okay, how is the delivery system to that tight end?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
We hadn't we hadn't been checking for Brunswick because they hadn't came up on our radar. So I don't know what.
It ain't nothing about the radar. It's about the region and where they coming out of. The part of the state they coming out of. No, ain't no Savannah school finna. Ain't no 4A Savannah school finna win a championship. Point blank. Period. Man, stop sugarcoat. Man, stop sprinkling. Stop. Yo.
Yes.
No, 5A, 4A, it don't matter. Savannah school still ain't winning no state championship. Dude, stop sprinkling sugar on crap and calling it chocolate. Call it like it TIE.
I ain't said nothing about Brunswick.
I'm just saying, man, Brunswick ain't finna win no championship in football. Y'all better
Marshall.
do your thing in basketball. All right, so 4A top bracket. What y'all think?
I like Creekside. Hey, who is Coach Willis?
His name was John Willis. He used to be the head coach of Brunswick High School. And then don't interrupt me. Then
what woman?
Man. Okay, no, I'm just reading Mr. Shit. He said I'm a fan of Coach Willis's daughter. Yeah, she's a hell of a basketball coach, Maria Willis. She went to Fort Valley too. A little bit younger than me. She's my sorority sister. But shout out to them.
We
Okay.
must have some. I think we got some first time listeners on here. Okay, let me rephrase. Ain't no public school in Savannah is about to win a state championship in football.
Danny, welcome, Danny. He said you can't count Warner Robins out.
And what? And what?
And what?
They got flag football.
I mean, I guess so. Cause you ever seen the referee sit there and go count on the boxer match? They getting knocked out Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, they're getting counted out. And that's going to put them at 4 seed. And guess where they got to travel, Mr. Danny Jones? They got to travel up to the north side of Atlanta, over there off of Johnson Ferry, at a school called Marist. And they season in right there, sir. They counted out.
Yeah, friend. I mean, I know that's home base, but no, friend. That's not gonna happen, I don't think. Let's see. So Mike clarified that. Okay, so yeah, I was going by the time you got there, Mr. Shield.
Let me just say this real quick, babe.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're reading comments. Let me just say this. I'm gonna be honest. There's only 4 teams in the Middle Georgia area I think got a shot at winning a championship in any classification.
Mm-hmm.
Northeast Raiders out of the east side of Macon.
Thank you.
North Oconee, yeah. The Peach County Trojans out of Fort Valley, Georgia. The Perry Panthers out of Perry, Georgia, and the Dublin Fighting Irish out of Dublin, Georgia. Other than that, in Middle Georgia, Danny Jones, ain't nobody got no shot. Let's just be real. And bruh, I'm gonna say something real quick. I'm not too sold on that North Oconee, Cartersville being Cartersville, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, so you saying go? Oh, so you already calling it, huh? You calling this like this then?
North Oconee, bro.
Ain't gonna be North Oconee.
Mm.
We'll do it like this then.
That's fine.
Okay.
We can flash that.
That can work. So Mr. Let me say this. On Friday, I don't want Mr. McDaniel, Mr. Pace, or Mr. Farley. I don't want y'all to meet each other. I want Mr. Farley to go to his side. I want Coffee to stay on their side, and y'all just talk via computer. Cause no, I don't want y'all to meet, baby. Don't do it.
Bless Trinity Creekside for a championship. That wouldn't be too far fetched.
Yeah, I do think Creekside gets married myself.
I mean, I told you, I think I just I wouldn't be surprised to see North Oconee, but that's just me.
Yeah, North Oconee got a really good team. I wouldn't be surprised either, but I think Bless Trinity and Marist.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 5A.
The big classification.
Nah, I would get. Let me see. I don't even feel like typing all that in. Just to see.
Woodward.
Ooh, yeah.
Woodward.
I think they get. Yeah, they get Gainesville.
Yeah.
I personally think now this is play. So after Friday, and I'm just gonna say it, I think that's gonna be Coffee up there and not TCC. But okay.
Ooh, that's a good
no. That's the 3rd seed. No. That's the 3rd seed.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's gonna be Coffee up there come next week. I think that'll be Coffee, and that's not a bad thing.
Okay with that. I think Coffee okay with that because if you look at that bracket and then you go where Coffee at when that bottom left come up, we'll see. TCC, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as they can come up to Atlanta and redo that magic from last year.
I think they got it. I think they
Well,
got
this
it
time,
because it's in their mind.
this time they're gonna be in College Park, so.
Huh.
Ooh.
Rome, Hughes, Roswell. Now,
Goodness.
Coffee don't want to be. Coffee don't want to be in there.
Coffee, you don't want to be down there, baby. Lose Friday. Tank, you hear me? Tank. Good.
Now the TCC Rome second round matchup is gonna be stupid.
Man, there's so many implications in that.
Yes.
Kenneth said
It don't.
TCC got it.
It don't even matter who come out this bottom right. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's not waste our time. Put them right
Oh,
there.
bottom left. Rome, Hughes. Who we going with?
Hughes.
Okay.
Bear said Rome won't beat Coffee. Okay.
Who said that?
Barry says Rome won't beat Coffee.
My lord.
They ain't gonna play. Yes, Mr. McCleary. Heavyweights in this region. Yes, Marquise. 5A football is definitely interesting.
Yes, it is.
Mr. Browns, the fake Robert. We met Robert. Fake Robert says Milton versus Hughes. I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it can easily be TCC and Lee. I mean,
scroll down to that bottom right. That's the matchup I want to see in the quarters. I want to see Houston County versus Milton. I want to see the AJ Hill Luke Nickel matchup, man. Like that you talking about two of the top 3 quarterbacks in Georgia high school this year. You know, maybe add in Juju and maybe 1 or 2 other guys, but
I mean, the matchup, the quarterback matchup is going to be cool. Is Milton quarterback has a better supporting cast.
Oh yeah.
And that's and that's why Milton will beat Houston County.
Yeah, Milton will beat everybody in the state of Georgia if you ask me.
Oh, we know that. We've been saying it all year.
Now, again, that semifinal matchup with Lee and Milton is going to be real interesting.
Yeah.
Although I think Milton has too much for Lee, it's going to still be an interesting game.
Barring injuries and stuff, I think Milton makes it. But listen, I don't count any of these 4 teams out.
But see, thank you, babe, because I was just finna say, you can go back to the Elite 8. You can go back to the Romes and the Woodward Academies and the I won't say Hoko, but man, who even come out of there? You don't have a region.
No, I'm about to plug it in. I just noticed that I'm about to plug it in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm about to plug it in right now. You don't even want to know who they playing. And that's the reason why I ain't put them in there. Oh, hold on. There's a reason why I ain't put them in there.
Yeah. Just don't put Lee County.
Yeah,
hold on.
Right.
So, bye.
Yeah. Do Lee County play Sequoia?
It don't matter.
I mean, I know it don't, but I'm just trying to. I was talking about the Elite 8.
Seconder. Let's go with Seconder.
I know, right?
Since it's play.
Now again, in this 5A, man, like TCC, Lee, Woodward Academy, Coffee, Rome, Woodward, Hughes, Milton, like you really don't know. It's some power hitters in that classification. We think Milton should be the strongest, but if any of those teams end up playing for the championship and winning, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep.
And I won't even count out Hoko with the offense they got. Maybe they pull some strings and get some stuff together. You never know.
They'll try. Mr. Wembley says there's no easy way out on that left side of the bracket, whether Coffee is the 2nd or the 3rd seed. You're right, but I personally think that you want to be the 3rd seed.
You got a better shot at least making the semis. Let TCC go down there and fight with them heavyweights. Maybe y'all can get them in the semis, Coffee, because they don't got beat up playing the Romes and the Roswells and the Hughes and all of that stuff. Yeah,
and it's hard to be the same team twice.
Yes. Just take the handout we trying to give you.
just accept it,
We
okay?
giving you the cheat code. Take that third seed.
What's going on, Mr. Henderson? He says nobody's beating Milton. And Oscar says, hold up, don't do them folks like that. They may shock the world. They may.
And what, Oscar? Oscar, let me tell you what that like. No. Let me tell you what that like. That like saying something the Cannon gonna beat y'all if y'all see them again.
What the fuck?
Did you see what Chris said?
Hey, Chris Pace got the right idea, goddamn. Chris Pace don't have the right idea of the brackets.
He said JB started Friday night for coffee. That's funny. Kenneth says Rome can be beat.
I agree. Rome, I don't think it is strong, but the Roswell team and what they did to Gainesville and how they've come along. Now it'll be interesting to see what they do this Friday against Milton. But that Roswell team ain't gonna be nothing to play with. Also, like y'all can say, and I know TCC. I'm right there with you. You wanna take on the toughest competition and all of that stuff, like you saying. You to beat a man, Ric Flair. Woo! To beat a man, you got to beat the man. So if you want to go through that and you want to go through all them headaches and bumps and bruises, by my law, have at it. But for me, if I was a TCC and a Coffee fan, I'm trying to be in that top level bracket.
Definitely. All right, so we are at 6A. Shout out, guys. Woohoo! We have gotten through all classifications. We're gonna finish this up. And then we're gonna
I think the Wildcats will be in that lounge spot, but for entertainment purposes for play. Grayson, Colin Hill, maybe, because Lounge just don't fare well with North Georgia teams.
Yeah, I'm thinking Collins Hill because Collins Hill starting, finally got it together.
Yeah.
But I think Grayson ends up beating Collins Hill though.
Well, they'll be playing at Lounge.
Lounge a 1 seed, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
never mind.
They'll go down there and play Lounge, but I still think Collins Hill is a better team though.
And let's be honest, those North Georgia team has been going down there and beating them also.
Yeah.
Grayson and Collins Hill match up again will be interesting considering a lot of the kids from Collins Hill left and went over to Grayson. Collins Hill beat them the first game of the season, but I think since that loss, Grayson has kind of got it together, especially after going over playing number 1 ranked powerhouse in the state of Alabama, Thompson, and beating them. So I like to see Grayson and maybe Carrollton in the championship. I'm not sold on Buford.
David Griffith says Lowndes will upset Collins Hill because the Lowndes has a defense.
Okay.
And my law, flip a coin. Norcross, maybe? Shit, I don't.
It don't even matter.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. Over here,
Dawson. You
hate
think
to
that
see
Dawson versus Buford? No. Ooh. Wow, they meet in the
second round. Second round. Second round.
Wow.
See, that's why I understand the PSR ranking. Because when you have teams, even when we go to that 4A and you think about what we saw, and you go into that 5A and you think about what we saw, you got Hughes and Roswell possibly meeting in the second round. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
So basically, what y'all saying is 6A is going to be an all North Georgia affair?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think Grayson and Buford, Carrollton. I don't see Buford beating Carrollton.
I don't either.
Let's see. Oscar said that bottom right is hard. Marquis says he would love to see Juju Lewis win the state championship before he graduates.
And become a Colorado Buffalo?
I think so. Lord have mercy. Obadiah says, do y'all give us the right to use some of these comments and a video that might be uploaded on Friday?
Go right ahead.
Yeah, because there ain't nothing I said. And if I did,
I know it's something I said.
That's what I said. God,
you know what?
That's
It's
right, Turla. That's why I don't mind, because it ain't something I said. I'll go
hey,
on.
it's something
And
I
it ain't
said, and
me.
guess what?
It is
And guess
not me.
what? I'm finna refill my cup and say something else.
Oh shit.
Go ahead.
Oh Lord.
So, so do what you feel you must.
He said just the comment section. See, it ain't got nothing to do with you,
That's what
Thursday.
I was trying to say.
That's
I
what
ain't
I
saying
was
that in the
trying
comment.
to say. That's
Okay,
my
Turla.
point.
Okay, Turla.
Oh,
You look Turla.
you
I'm a
know what?
Turla. They're gonna be traveling down somewhere Saturday morning too, ain't it? Sit right up in
Maybe
the tub.
unless we leave you.
If you do.
Yeah, Mr. McCleary says it's just predictions. You're right, Mr. McCleary. And Mr. Britt said Todd is healthy enough. Once we get through hate week, it's up from here. And I think I think if Valdosta takes Lowndes' place, then it might be a little different. You never know.
Yeah,
Uh,
Todd, man, that quarterback is stupid, man. Like,
he's
shout out to
crazy.
Eddie Garrett, man. Eddie Garrett said that's one of the best kids he coached against, man. Like he really has it down at Valdosta. Richmond Hill beat him because he wasn't there. But
Yeah. Chris says, can I use the comments from the show come playoff time? Of course.
sure.
Most people call them receipts.
Hey, exactly.
Let
And
me
I
see.
don't have hey, there we go. There we go. I don't have some receipts pulled on me by Coach Dad. So,
A-
we
After the state game.
after the state game, made sure he made mention to tell your panel members I got my receipts. So y'all hold on to our receipts. We don't mind.
Shout
Yes.
out to Coach Lovejoy.
Love
Yeah.
joy.
Coach Lovejoy. So guys, we had a jam-packed show tonight.
And we got through it real smoothly though.
Way to go, team. Way to go.
High
Pat on my
five.
back, pat on my back. Shakira, throw that wave
Ooh.
up. Throw that wave up, Shakira. High five.
You know what?
Oscar, just pee and go to bed. How about that?
Damn.
My Lord.
He said, Shakira, these jokers trying to be proper and stuff. Just say receipts, dang it. Pee and go to bed. All right, go. Crazy stuff.
So, Mr. Brett, we have already won the region championship, beating Cairo last weekend.
And
And thank you for pulling for us.
yes, thank you so much. And somebody, I don't know if what it is, but if it's true or not, but Yo and I just received a text that the running back from Cairo will be out this week on concussion protocol. So I don't think that's a bad thing. I really don't.
Yeah, I would sit that kid too. Like I said, from the fan perspective, I would love to see those two top backs in 3A go at it. But for that kid health and to know that Cairo is making the playoffs and what he can do to move that team along, I think it's best they sit him out.
Yeah, I do too.
Now,
And
here's the crazy thing, though. Regardless of
mhm.
Cairo loss or victory, they still in the same bottom right with Peach County and has to face them again. So that's tough for them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So thank you, Mr. Doe. Welcome, Mr. Doe, to the podcast. We're about to get off, but you can play this podcast as much as you want. Chris Pay says that GHSA interview was big. That was cool. Thank you so very much, guys. And just
Appreciate you, Mr. Pace.
make sure, guys, everybody in the comment section, just go ahead and make sure you share this podcast and let people know that the GHS executive director and associate director gave an interview and they explain, because I know they're really big on these playoff brackets and how it works, and there's confusion. So make sure you share it everywhere and let the people look at it. And
not just that, babe, to interrupt you again, I interrupted the director of the executive director of the GHSA. Y'all know that's my thing.
that's what
But
you
that
do.
competitive balance thing is something that a lot of people need to listen. Just in case on the next cycle they go to that, y'all can really get an in-depth explanation of how that's gonna work. So
Yeah.
that's something else that you all, especially the upper classification that's not dealing with PSR, that's part of an interview that y'all can really learn a lot about.
Yeah. So y'all make sure y'all share it everywhere. And don't just share it. Say when you sharing it, just say, okay, y'all, it's an interview there that y'all are really gonna want to listen to. And we're glad. Listen, we're blessed, and we're glad that we were able to get this information out to you again. Because if it were not for you all, we wouldn't be able to do anything. So we didn't have anybody to listen to us. I mean, really, what would it be? So thank you all very, very much.
Hey, let me
And
interrupt
real
you
quick,
again.
guys.
That's what you do.
Well, don't interrupt me.
Ooh.
For
Yes,
those that
ma'am.
are sharing it, and just for people that are sending requests to join the page, please answer all of the questions. You will not be granted access until you answer all of the questions. This goes for people that are responding to their friends tagging them or people suggesting the page. You have to answer all of the questions, people. We don't want to see no more posts where people saying they don't fool with us because we think we some elite group. We kind of do, but um no, seriously. I mean, especially after that interview, we really think we the shit now. But no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, y'all. We are very humble. But no, please answer all of the questions and like they said, share and let people know what the content is that they're looking for, because once the brackets were dropped the other day, there were a lot of questions and we kind of tried to get those answered for y'all. So there you go.
I
Now,
want to answer it. Man, you know
can
we
I
want to answer that because we knew what was coming up.
can I talk now?
Yeah.
Sure, you have the flow, Yoy.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank y'all.
Sure,
Thank y'all.
Smokey.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask Deshaun Hunter, what's going on, man? I know you had to work late, but your time being that you spent in Fort Valley, could you tell me what's the bougie side of Fort Valley?
The house and county side.
Messy mofo. And you will be wrong, Thursday. That's why you need to move down there. That ain't what he talking about. It
I
ain't
ain't
that.
moving down there.
It ain't what
I'm moving to Garden City.
it's the ooh. Okay, you'll really know what's going on then. It's the Macon County side, sir.
Hmm.
As I was directed to
And
do.
it's not. That's Marvin Gardens. And
Yeah,
we
that's it. Marvin Garden.
Garden City is in Macon County. You don't go down there. Well, you can. You'll definitely know what's going on.
Man, you know I ain't
See,
moving.
he didn't answer you. He did
What's up,
not.
Pedro? Pedro, tell me what's the bougie side. Okay, you just dealt with Gano. I respect that. Pedro, what's the bougie side of Fort Valley, man? Let me know something.
Dro. Don't even entertain that, Dro.
Man, shout out Gano, man. There we go. There we go, Joe. There we go, Joe. Now, what did I say, fellas? What did I say, panel members? What did I say, listeners?
It's
Damn,
not.
sis.
Dang.
we,
Dang. Hey, go ahead and hit the Florida Evans.
Damn.
Hey, and he
Damn.
came back and said back in the day.
Thank you. That's right, T. He said, "Give me Gano and Griffin line." Well, they ain't gonna.
Tick,
They
what's
ain't
the Tick? What's the bougie side of Fort Valley, Tick?
I know they don't love me, Marquise. I'm glad you love me, baby, because don't nobody else love me.
There you go. There you go. There you go, Tick. There you go.
You know
Shawty,
what?
just accept that, Shawty. I'm from Vineville, Georgia, Shawty. Just accept that. We know what's going on.
I'm not talking to any of you ever again because I'm too uppity to deal with
You
you
gonna
peasants.
whatever, girl. You gonna talk to us on Friday night.
Oh, speaking of, we thank y'all for this podcast. We'll be back Friday. Now, we're gonna try to get on as early as possible, and we won't be on very long on Friday because we got things to do Saturday morning.
Yes,
Early,
we do.
early,
Yes, y'all do.
early
I'll
Saturday morning.
be waiting on you.
Oh, okay, thanks. So early
No, cause I'll be that.
Saturday.
No, I go down Thursday. I'll be there
I
Thursday.
know
So
that. I know that. I said, but thank you. You'll have somewhere for us to land, lay our heads. Okay. Well, you
yeah,
know what I mean. Land. That's what I mean.
yeah.
Land. Thank you so much. So y'all bid thirsty farewell for a little while. He won't be here on Friday. He gonna miss y'all.
LBC.
BOP, hold it down.
They say I was driving. I can't even drive. I'm legally blind.
Mama, I love you. BOP, hold it down.
You gotta hit the Mr. Turner. You gotta hit the Mr. Turner for thirsty. They say I was
Oh,
drinking, but I was motherfucking driving.
I went driving. I was driving. But I said, this man just said he wasn't driving.
Oh, y'all, something is wrong with y'all. Thank y'all so much for the compliments. Y'all don't know what that does to us. It keeps us going because sometimes, you know, um, our Mondays and Wednesdays are kind of that takes time from our family and loved ones. Not me, but it takes time from our weekly weeknight duties to do this. But we love it, and we are glad that you appreciate that we do what we do. And
Yeah. And
y'all
just
keep
to add this song, here I go interrupting you again. I know not to interrupt the feisty bulldog, but
I know you're
uh,
rude, and I know your mama raised you better, but you are.
if y'all have any questions or concern, man, there is a website on the GHSA with emails. They have extended a olive branch. I'm sorry, to us. We have direct contact to the director, the associate director, and all. There are forms that you can fill out for referee incidents that we have complained about and things like that. If you can't get in contact with anybody at the GHSA, please feel free to reach out to anybody on this panel, as we do have direct access to them now and can try to get some things that y'all have concerns about heard and addressed. Do anybody on the panel agree or have any problems with someone reaching out to them with the contacts that we have established with them?
Nope, none at all.
Nope.
That would be negative, sir.
Now, with that being said, Jess, you can end the show without interruptions.
Thank you so very much. This is Uppity Jessica.
Willow Lake Road, shout it.
Willow Lake. If you see my fingers, it's doing like West Side.
Willow Lake.
Willow Lake. But anyway, from the uppity side of town, I would like to say, God bless. Good night. Make sure that you get your pick'ems in by 6 p.m. on Thursday, and we will see you
And
Friday.
scene.
See, there you go, interrupting. I was not through.
I'm sorry.
I'm waiting on Jess to finish.
And thank you so very much. We will see you back here at 11ish on Friday evening to discuss the Thursday and Friday night games. Thank you so very much.
On the lifestyle of the rich and shameless.
Come on, give it to me, Jess.
Barry
Give it to me,
County,
Jess.
y'all on the clock.
Give it to me, Jess.
What am I giving you, sir?
And scene.
And scene.